Name's Okumuringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories, let's first have a look at the news making headlines today. In the headlines tonight, Moyo District celebrates World Diabetic Day. Shorty works at Panimul Health Center 3X residents. And NSSF assures members of the safety of their fund. This and more in the NILE CAST News Bulletin. It's the 14th of November 2023 and you're most welcome to the NILE Cast only on West Nile Television. Now let us dive into some of the stories of the evening. The Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education today progressed well into day 2 of the national examinations. Just like the Uganda Certificate of Education and the primary living examinations, the UACE examinations commenced well with no cases of examination malpractice. Farish Majid reports.
As senior 6 candidates across the country began sitting Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education exams, in Arua City the exams proceeded well into day 2. Arua City registered a total of 643 candidates, which is slightly lowered compared to 833 registered last year, 2022. However, out of this, few of the learners missed the first papers for unknown reasons in some of the sitting centers. According to Matua Eliakim Onyiga, the Arua main area supervisor, who also doubles as the head teacher of various senior secondary schools, urged the members of the public to support these learners during this examination period, as he also warns them against examinations malpractice.
We want to thank God that we are progressing on well. Perhaps my appeal now to the public is that we need to continue supporting our children who are undertaking these exams. Let's give them conducive environment and let us desist from any form of malpractice, because it is not good and it is not really allowed in any way. So this is what I would like to say to the public. And then to our parents, let's continue to support children who are day students, who move from home to do the exams and then come back. Let us give them conducive environment. Let us make sure these 3 weeks they are given the opportunity to pursue their future.
At Muni Girls Schools, 26 students registered and all are sitting for the final exams, as Droaru Grace Manasseh, the headmistress of the school, says that the examinations commenced well and they hope to finalize it in a good manner.
Yesterday we kicked off with the examinations of A-level, while for us for O-level we are gradually completing on Thursday. They still have papers, but with the A-level, yesterday we kicked off with history and then mathematics, pure mathematics. In total we have 26 girls sitting here at this center and all of them have turned up. This morning we had economics, paper 1 in the morning, and in the afternoon paper 2, and then the sciences, with chemistry practicals. This is the far we have reached with the A-level examinations, and also with the O-level examination we are also ending.
The 3 weeks Uganda Advanced Certificate of Examination started on Monday this week, and it is the direct entry paper for learners to progress to the higher institutions of learning for degree and diploma courses. Peace Oshaki, Farish Majid, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories. As the world commemorates World Diabetic Day, Mr. Obiku Joseph, the chairman Moyo District Diabetes Patients Association, stated that the World Diabetic Day is not only for the diabetic patients in Moyo only, but also for the entire public, so as to create awareness about the disease. His argument was made during the commemoration of the World Diabetic Day in Moyo General Hospital. Take a look.
The day under the theme Access to Diabetes Care brought in a handful of people, mainly the diabetic patients at the hospital, to share ideas and create awareness among the public about the disease which has affected millions of people across the world. Mr. Obiku Joseph, the chairman Diabetic Patients Association in Moyo District, say as diabetic patients, they use this day to bring all the patients and the public together, from the experts and health workers, and mitigate the different ways of keeping their sugar levels in check, saying the day is only for the patients alone, but for the general public who could use the day to contact screening and learn about the disease.
Esu ado diabetes day di te ama buba na neko mera wa kenya sa medera te ba ngwere sa kole akevuke lini kwele no si di soni aya lini ni kwele no si te oma adu bala zabare neko te anyila za kori sa nyevu anyeri anyi go ga ngone dazari adoke jian lonya nyale ngone ribati diyote twendo dinzindi hadi kwa disua ngwe sua mango amaba stisa screen nyela za kona hadi nyipima tro data amaitele udu multi diabetes day la dibati.
Mrs. Mundru Natalin Sikia, who has lived with diabetes for 23 years now, urged the patients to strictly follow the advice given by the health workers and always keep their sugar levels in check if they want to live long and healthy.
Lazari tori majua ini hata kliniki ngenga sasa majua ini strictly kole ki follow ki advice tuk sana zia jole inde lonya jojo ini konyaki jojo konyaki ga this list diet re follow le andra me aya mulago o weke manira ro kome andre dia udia ro nyalteria sa badi dia se list na dia amegule mulago nai desima lonya chiki alele ni follow hao Bravo du street ile amvu sukari ma sukari na ade je tukani ndurunduru ade je hao ni ana saket na ade mia kima mia saket alona ani mamvu jamvu ndo na mazuri kwa ndisoma advice doctor ile strictly mi follow hao ken mane tadia timandi kinya bitiri ya ware house Ishale kifo lupita dokta ajuleri okovua mari de niga mvirako ino maboronzi singia nduta kukitori ya mfuko ra sa tupasa enda mani tadi ikonye mama ni bijundi nyabikira house.
Mrs. Moraros, another patient, said as soon as she discovered she had diabetes, she asked the doctor on what to do so as to keep her sugar level in check, and she immediately picked up the advice which has kept her healthy for the past 3 years and urged the patients to emulate her example so as to avoid getting into a critical condition which will result into them being hospitalized.
Dazi dokta hadi resula sadi baru di kami dari dia dokta ya oko jamani dra sukari mamfuko lonya sukari aru sansa obisi panta kata na batian tale ni tona na monyako lonya mari ni pe soma ado musa sukari ya Kongo ado lonya mari pelele ado panta karekaendre namanyaendre musa mopo dibati di namanya si kolea sakatege dili na akwari mahunoko si ebe drala sari tona radi kinyana kwani ki kasini mawale mali sini kitulia ngone iteru marko.
By the time of filing the story, the doctor in charge of the diabetes clinic was out of station and the medical superintendent could equally not be reached for comments. The World Diabetes Day was established by the International Diabetes Foundation in collaboration with the World Health Organization in 1991. However, it was declared a global day in 2006 after the United Nations passed a resolution, and the day is observed every year on the 14th of November, which is aimed at highlighting and supporting all the efforts towards containing the disease. I'm Dominic Anthony Okumu for West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
And more in the commemoration of the World Diabetes Day, Zombo District Health Officer Dr. Mark Boni Bwanima has revealed that many diabetic patients within the district have shunned seeking health facilities but opt for traditional herbalists for treating them. He made this revelation this afternoon as Zombo District joins the rest of the world to commemorate World Diabetic Day. Take a look.
Dr. Bwamale made this revelation this afternoon as Zombo District joins the rest of the world to commemorate World Diabetic Day. Bwamale added that lack of physical fitness is another major factor affecting the health of people in Zombo District. According to Bwamale, many people have developed some diseases like diabetes, obesity, due to lack of physical fitnesses. He encouraged the diabetic patients to be agents of mind change in society through advocating for drugs meant for treating diabetes provided by the government of Uganda.
In the last two financial years, much as we saw a decline in 2022-2023, 2021-2022, we had a total of 1,219 cases cumulatively. Majority were female at 646, male were 573. The juvenile cases were about 36, and in 2022-2023, we had 947 cases, and that shows that a very slight reduction. But in terms of the burden of the disease, that is still quite high in terms of number of cases registered at the district. When difficult to manage complications have occurred, and that is when they are actually getting to know their status that they are positive for diabetes. So that clearly shows to me and the rest of the people in the district that there are so many people out there who have actually diabetes and do not know. They don't know their status that they actually have the disease. And that is very unfortunate. And that means that they are not on treatment, they are not on any kind of control. So they simply present to the facilities at a time when there is complication. And that is when they present to the facility. Number two is in regards to the number of cases that we are trying to see. As I said, the burden is quite high in the district, and to me, that clearly shows to us that as a non-communicable disease, it is a disease of concern for the people of Zombo.
Margaret Olaba, 49 years, resident of Akirsel, Zingile Ward, Peitha Town Council, Zombo District, and one of diabetic patients who has lived with the disease for over 18 years, says living with diabetes is more costly than HIV/AIDS since it is not selective in foods and beverages. Olaba appeals to the government to get other drugs which can help diabetic patients to have freedom to eat all types of foods like other patients on daily drugs.
Wakuletea champe, lambeseketek, boy wadom, kaire mukmai, ipe kupin mukumada manda, unang kirupe, itu wawashiri aselem berlaw taskar, ishama soa inwang kiru, opeo, taskari raj, opo ko de runde dupa, oni don urumira para bora. Na po ko di ko re dawa me habul konyango dawa ba mundu re konya kana chako habul tera maraj adugi ba mundu etimu re watem yure moku shi makaji wacho ni ya tem kuma tem ko tem ra ma ngoni apa mundu ko konya do mandre na mo kwa na government ke tin pita skar e kom e da ko tu ma ran na ka la islam e ke tingi wa pita skar e ke saya i wa manya mo ashopu ka ko de na wa shamo pin mo ti manya bebe ma ka tu mo ku meki e oli ma ta pin ma ma da de mo ku ni pe attack you are.
Reports from Zombo District Health Department indicate that in the last 2 years, the district registered 1,219 cases, and in 2023, only 949 cases were registered in all the health facilities in the district. This year's World Diabetes Day was celebrated under the theme Access to Care. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories, Christians and business fraternity from Maracha district and the Democratic Republic of Congo gathered in Poo Village, Lamila Parish, to fundraise for 150 million shillings for the completion of Trinity Church of Uganda, Lamila construction project. Take a look.
Christians and business fraternity from Maracha district and Democratic Republic of Congo gather in Poo Village, Lamila Parish to fundraise for 150 million shillings for the completion of Trinity Church of Uganda, Lamila construction project. The construction for the expansion of this new church building was first launched in 2017 with a mega fundraising drive. However, the monies realized that time could not complete its work to the finishing, henceforth causing another fundraising ceremony that has been held on Sunday, 12th November 2023. The parish priest for Kijomoro Parish, Reverend Father Adiga Robert, declared the poor state of the unfinished church building, which he says leaks and disorganizes the clergy a lot when it rains during prayer session or any other gatherings in the church. He says most of the church in Kijomoro Parish have a similar conditions.
So the major challenge we are facing this time is when it is time of rain, more particularly that year, end of the altar. So there is that provision where those windows are not fixed, so it disturbs us so much during the church services. Of recently, when the Archdeacon came for blessing, P7 blessing, so it was during that time of rain where the whole thing was disturbed by rain because of those gaps. So we managed to sit now down after realizing the funds for today's function, the fundraising, which are really sure that the altar must be to the standard, fixing all those gaps so that it may stop now the rain to flow in the church. In fact, we have in Kijomoro Parish there are 6 churches. If you compare all these things, it is let me say the headquarters, which is a bit in a good state. I say that one because the glasses of the windows are already fixed, plaster done, both inside and outside. And also the altar setting, if you go there, you really see that the presence of God is there in that church.
The chairperson organizing committee, Moses Obeta, is optimistic that they will be able to raise the 150 million shillings to complete construction of the work of the church to give glory to God and also in memory of people who started this church, which has so far produced bishops and reverends. Obeta further says there were challenges in mobilizing people and resources at the start of this project way back in 2017.
We started a church house, a new church house in 2017. We did a fundraising, and in that fundraising we raised about 90 million, and it enabled us to put up a new church building with the available resources that we had on site, things like bricks and what have you. Today, we're putting up a fundraising to finish up the church. That is to do the floor works, the plastering, fitting the windows, frames and window glasses, doing painting, putting the apron, putting the first support all together. We estimate this to cost about 150 million, and we are right now doing fundraising, and we hope we'll raise this 150 million to complete this project as soon as we raise the funds. In case we don't raise this money in total, we'll trust in God that God will continue to provide until when we finish this project and have a good house for praising the name of the Almighty, and a befitting house that really shows that it's a church of God.
The guest of honor for the ceremony, Mr. Mungufweni Samuel, aka Kenda, a business mogul in Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo, who contributed 20 million shillings and another 11 million shillings from 3 friends of his from Democratic Republic of Congo, appealed to the general public to remain faithful and committed to God so that they can be successful in life.
Efini beto ngotu beto doroje beto sende fe ngonera te bika Mungu niku mi afami jeri mefileo te bani feri rage rodia ala sukuluku memini mama.
For the ceremony, Mr. Mungufweni Samuel, aka Kenda, a business mogul in Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo, who contributed 20 million shillings and another 11 million shillings from 3 friends of his from Democratic Republic of Congo, appealed to the general public to remain faithful and committed to God so that they can be successful in life.
And more in our stories. In the various community engagements conducted by the West Nile Regional Civil Society Network, Uganda National NGO Forum, and Palisa Civil Society Network with funding from the European Union, know citizens' roles in demanding social accountability in the districts of Maracha and Yumbe. Stakeholders reason that little has been done by the duty bearers in transparently accounting to the service seekers, affecting their moral to be engaged in various government programs of socio-economic transformation. Frederick Damadri has more.
The demand for quality service provision in a transparent manner from the duty bearers to the citizens who need the services is dwindling due to accountability challenges in most parts of Uganda. Recently, West Nile Regional Civil Society Network, WESISNET, an umbrella organization for all the civil societies in the region, together with Uganda National NGO Forum and Palisa Civil Society Network with funding from European Union, conducted a community immersion in the districts of Yumbe and Maracha under their Strengthening Grassroots Social Accountability Project. In this, members of the community raised concerns over failure to access government social protection interventions, programs and projects, among others, noting that majority of the interventions die at the implementation stages before reaching the targeted beneficiaries. According to most of the service seekers, government interventions of socio-economic transformation do not reach the citizens, and the urge to follow up on the duty bearers is not fulfilling in terms of feedback.
Effort from 7 and Ruka Rukia Rebecca Gibangi managing. Alagudo madi sender for turna kozito ado the process like it take korodus tigandra kurum kituda amuso magemi ogako sender zime vetada we pokubani sender ba process la galati afagatan council ga uzo mana magu consistent diki sara se remember la kizitu lekani baki mudu toya ingone yani consistent gana like fast lot mu pisane rusupiriki ndoga the family guideline lakini la petite Sidi ola la gara dujenda mi kuba madam na kino la karile da binga yani bare mi mu bare kizo mini imida ini azli imida ini amomo dikido la niku lakini kina haki yana haki kwa rumazga amamo arella bara yuki iba only personal family members ki feki ngakiru usuki gase basendera mesumba makuyo wajo because amadi ma tijo lo ya danga ka feta manga mai mata to mangori marusu kinga yumbega wo yumbega da au sulu singo gala ani to manga ko nene ba e ti tu ritigare amane ore da kula barendre ke na ma ke amore nga se ko re e ki jola bare ke asendu sinde o fe bani ore ko ya re ni ku anga to mani da bere abido da re te mo masi village galera group ga
various gaps in service delivery ranging from poor water systems, bad roads, access to quality health and education services continue to manifest, yet they are the basic entitlements to the citizens. Yumbe District Chairperson Asiko Abdul Mutwalib notes that due to the wide area covered by the district and the influx of the refugees worsened by the dwindling donor support, the interventions by government have not been felt by the citizens.
We have 1,224 villages, which is also the highest number of the lower level units in the country. The district has a land size of 2,411 square kilometers, and the population is 1,021,232. This means that Yumbe qualified to be like 5 districts, but this is one district which is managing issues related to service delivery. And therefore, this means that when it comes to support to service provision within the district, I've always requested the players and key stakeholders to put in extra resources to have an impact when it comes to service delivery.
Whereas Morasa District Chairperson Obita Stephen says little funding from the central government has made work difficult with the little local revenue collected, yet citizens demand a lot from the leaders.
We don't even have a single coin here, not even this quite 100 shillings coin. Even our people, supervision, facilitation for supervision for our team is not even there.
Whereas Flavia Rabhuo Kabaenta, the chairperson Parliamentary Committee on Social Protection in Uganda, advises government to increase funding for social protection and streamline the processes of accessibility at the implementation stages, since majority of the implementers divert the services from the targeted beneficiaries.
All of Africa, Uganda is not doing well in financing social protection. We are only at 0.7% of the GDP in social protection, and our social protection interventions are reaching only to 6.5% of Ugandans. But they are telling you the people living in abject poverty are 39%.
Under the Strengthening Grassroots Social Accountability Project, the CSOs are engaging the citizens on their involvement in demanding for accountability from the duty bearers and ensuring that the leaders open up to the service seekers in a transparent manner without compromise. Frederick Tamadri, West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories, residents of Panyamuru Town Council have accused BMK Construction Company Limited for the shoddy works which have developed cracks on some of the structures before commissioning. The residents say they are not happy with the progress of the maternity and the laboratory structures constellations, which will not prove benefits of the government funds to help the local people. Take a look.
The residents say they are not happy with the progress of maternity and laboratory structures, which will not prove the benefits of government funds to help local people. They added that the government should put more strategies to fight against shoddy works in the country. Stanley Ombidi Thopasho, the clan chief Kwanga Chiefdom, expressed his dismay over shoddy works of the facility, which calls for government's intervention to improve service delivery closer to the people of Panyamuru Town Council. According to the chief, several attempts on quality works have been made to the contractor at the site, but hit a snag.
BMK, so far it is the worst company in team of construction. Compared to Kadi local contractors, Matindo, the BMK has done the worst. I think managing, you moved around and you saw what happened. Shall get you in total isolation of the community. Pin marriage at your Pinba community. Umako ket community be part of progress. Why am I saying this? Plan consultation, architectural design by Jumio Iwango. Not even at the town council, it is not there. Not even at the hospital, health center board, it is not there. So wangeyungoni angobe ti merede. Because that design would give us some idea. Yeah, pin mwanere makojugerebe kumai. Kidebe benen kodiango, design. That even the plan was supposed to be available to the town council. Management me odi adema kubet kodo. Yeah. Along with person management, a penje is an almost a retired teacher. Plan iti kodo. How often do these people engage you in the progress of the construction? You inquire, they become aggressive. Who exactly? Contractors. What you design ko plan ni banga. You bang cow in this week. Because inu reporting in the community. And he gave up definitely.
Peter Opento, chairperson local council 3 Panyimur Town Council, blamed the contractor for not doing enough work on both maternity and laboratory buildings. He noted that before the commencement of the construction, as leaders, they called for a brief meeting with the contractor, but failed. Opento added that they will mobilize people and not accept the structures for commissioning.
Mutiekati mirachel chunyo yom ku government mo timio iwa udi majuwe shigero icha she give me any contractor BMK donc but chire BMK utieka disappointing one utieka nyayo chani iwa bakwe tirango teach nema kitieka temo cha e teach maderengo do chunyo yomungo teach migma kani nena de quality pati nyepe I speed marketing me teacher de yo dit berongo wati ko chan ayo wabeka bedo ko meetings ma dupa ko do dongo ma tong do dongo mo ai ministry de health ministry de obedo tie consult ngato ne ma mako nen what ubeka mi paro ni government ba nyinge ma julo consultant ko do mondo de uberi ie aya I district mo eni chairman gi ko jadid maneno yotcom de check bo bedo ko meeting donc lembe eno gi check obo wato chi kagi logi do ko do waneno pin moko ma jotimo to pe mundu dogo nyaldu shani wanyaya.
When our reporter spoke to Stewart Wabamba, the site engineer BMK Company Limited said the construction work is at 90% complete. He assured the leaders of Quality Works but refuted the claim that they are not doing enough to complete their task. The construction works of 2 structures at Panyimur Health Center 3 is 2.9 billion shillings and the work is being done by BMK Construction Company Limited. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
E teach maderengo do chunyo yomungo teach migma kani nena de quality pati nyepe I speed marketing me teacher de yo dit berongo wati ko chan ayo wabeka bedo ko meetings ma dupa ko do dongo ma tong do dongo mo ai ministry de health ministry de obedo tie consult ngato ne ma mako nen what ubeka mi paro ni government ba nyinge ma julo consultant ko do mondo de obedo ie aya I district mo eni chairman gi ko jadid maneno yotcom de check bo bedo ko meeting donc lembe eno gi check obo wato Chi kagi logi do kodo waneno piny moko ma jotimo to pe mundu dogo nyalo shana yuanya.
When our reporter spoke to Stewart Wabamba, the site engineer BMK Company Limited said the construction work is at 90% complete. He assured the leaders of Quality Works but refuted the claim that they are not doing enough to complete their task. The construction works of 2 structures at Panyimura Center 3 is 2.9 billion shillings, and the work is being done by BMK Construction Company Limited. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
In the last financial year, 2022-2023, National Security Fund paid out 75.5 billion to over 6,489 eligible members in the northern region, according to the fund's performance report. And this happens during the controversy in the transitions of office bearers at NSSF.
The number of transitions we've had in NSF that have not been peaceful, we know, but the fund has remained standing. Now the fund is more than any one individual and anyone's individual desires. Simply because we didn't have the expected transition doesn't mean the fund suffered. And what we can actually tell you, show you the number, show you is the fund even good in that process. So you have a good fund, a strong fund that outlives any single person. And that's assurance I want to give you that.
During the regional's chief executive officers and employers meeting in Gulu City this week, members were able to raise concerns to their leaders.
A lot of abuse in NSF. Every time an MD comes in, it comes with joy. But as he's getting out, he gets out shamefully. How can you make a change? Can you move on and move out, exit peacefully, where you will come to say bye to Gulo? We know you don't have any fraud issue.
I'm looking at, is there a possibility of NSSF doing joint venture businesses for people that have retired? Because someone gets 500 million, 300 million, they have never engaged in business. What is the possibility of NSSF running side by side? You do a joint venture with someone who is retiring, so that you come up with expertise and the retiree is coming up with money, and you do business together so that they live a happy retirement life.
The private investors in education also expressed some of the challenges that always hinder them from remitting in time, and ask the fund to support them.
As private schools contribute, you have never given back to them. COVID has hit us very hard, and we also pray that when giving back to community, you remember the private schools in Uganda.
Despite witnessing significant improvement in performance from both the members and NSSF, Mwesigwa David, the fund action head of business, urged members to desist from defaulting.
Make sure all your employees are registered. For those who have been struggling with non-registration, with Ugandans who don't have means and cannot register, pain-free, we are going to manage it. And I'm saying pain-free. And also note and help us spread this gospel that with the new law, all companies employing at least a Ugandan, a non-Ugandan, but we're employing a person, you are eligible to pay NSSF.
During the meeting in Gulu, members were also tipped on retirement benefit.
Belong to a number of groups and sometimes have simply refused to contribute to certain things. You cannot contribute to everything. You cannot solve all the problems of the world. It is not your responsibility. So for you to be able to save money and to invest for the long term, you need to determine early enough which causes will you contribute to. You can't contribute to every cause.
According to Patrick Oyota, the managing director, NSSF revenue has increased by 15% from 1.9 trillion shilling to 2.2 trillion shilling in this financial year, while assets under their management increased from 17.26 trillion in financial year 2021-2022 to 18.56 trillion in financial year 2022-2023. Stephen Okello for West Nile Television, NILE CAST.
Good evening, viewer. You're welcome for the sports news on West Nile Television. With me, Owen Izaga, and of course, in our top stories today, Unduporaka Football Club has suffered its fourth straight defeat over the season ever since they joined the FUFA Big League. Unduporaka Football Club got 2-0 loss to that is the Ginger best side, Ginger North United, after a hectic encounter at Ginger home grounds. Unduporaka, the results deems them from the prestigious Uganda Premier League encounter that is to be made next season. After all this, Unduporaka sits 10th on the log and 9th with the 9th point on the table, and looking forward to see whether they could be expecting a move, a push through to the Star Times Uganda Premier League this season. It is now on to Unduporaka Football Club to gear up their games to make sure that they get themselves into the next level. Unduporaka will be hosting the team Karo Karunji at home on Thursday this week to see their hopes of either to get the 12th point of the season. Now elsewhere, KCCA unveiled Abdallah Mubiru as their new head coach in a new chapter. KCCA has confirmed the appointment of Abdallah Mubiru as their new head coach for a period of 2 years, ending there are speculations that he would be acquiring the job as the KCCA head coach. The KCCA head coach, in his press briefing, he said that he has come to take on what he left at the club after he left the club in a childhood state, and up to now he feels the club is at hand. He asked the fans to be patient and give him enough time to manage, and of course brought the team to limelight. Uganda Rhinos have reached the Sekafa Under-15 finals in the Sekafa League, and the Under-15 national team are set to defend the Sekafa title after reaching the finals again. Uganda beat Tanzania 2-0 at FUFA Technical Center Njeru to reach the finals on Monday, and the team underwent Jackson Magera, then won the competition in 2019, defeating Kenya 4-0 in Eritrea under Jackson Magera. That means Jackson still continues with the run, and of course a good form of run with Jackson continues with a good run with the team of the Under-15 Uganda Cranes. Elsewhere in rugby, all set for the Uganda Cup, and the Uganda rugby team is all ready for the Uganda Cup that is to kick off this weekend. Promising and exciting season continues with 20 teams distributed across 4 groups and the top 4 from each group, which will advance to the Qatar final. Now the tournament is being dominated by the Cobs and Heathens, but Heathens are the Greco champions with 12, followed by the Cobs. Meanwhile, Pirates have only won the competition twice. Well, that marks the end of our sports news today, live on West Nile Television. And the anchor tonight has been Owen Ezaga. Stay glued to West Nile Television.
And that, viewer, marks the end of the Nile Cast, only on West Nile Television. Thank you, viewers, for always being with us from the beginning of the Nile Cast to the end of the Nile Cast, only on West Nile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that may follow. My name's Okumaringa Christie. Have a good evening.